What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? 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 Hey, so I had to get off real quick because I legit had this food right here and I wasn't gonna eat it in front of y'all because I don't want to look like an animal. So I'm back talking about the NCLEX, talking about study stuff. We were kind of talking about my shirt. If you want to get one of those shirts that says I'm essential, because it's all about that satire. Because we're all essential in everybody's eyes, right? Anyways, my name's Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. I'm a nurse. I'm in the military, Navy guy. Been in there for almost 16 years. Talking about NCLEX, talking about study tips, talking about all that good stuff. You guys got any questions about that? Hey, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Hey, destroy that like button. Give me all them hearts. Give me all the love. Just So we're gonna be sitting here and we're gonna talk about all the stuff that you would need to know in regards to the NCLEX, or essentially what you guys want me to tell you. We were going over a couple of YouTube videos that I like to recommend that helped me. And a lot of these guys that, they're social media influencers and all that good stuff. I like to give props where props are due. If people have really shitty products, then, hey, I just rather not tell you about them than, try to, I guess, what is it? Bad press is good. Bad press is still press or whatever, So yeah, we talked about nursing.com, Level Up, RN, Registered Nurse RN, Simple Nursing, Picmonic, Khan Academy, Ninja Nerd, and Osmosis. Those were a couple of reviews that we were discussing earlier before I got off. But they don't only just do NCLEX. They also do just nursing stuff. Like, for example, Osmosis. They have a section where they do it for medical doctors, a section for PAs and all that stuff. So, specifically for what your area of study is, they also have it as well. They have another one is MedCram, really, really good for medications. I can actually pull them up too, so that way we can kind of get a better understanding of like some of those YouTube channels. But yeah, MedCram, pretty much their medical lectures is done by a medical doctor, and his name is Robert. I think it's Seahalt or Salt, or I don't want to mispronounce his name. So if he comes to me and be like, "Hey, why you saying my name wrong?" I'm like, "My bad." So yeah, he gets on here. He talks about all kinds of stuff. Like his latest video he did about 10 days ago talks about encephalitis after COVID-19. So a lot of good knowledge that's there. And now he's talking about monkeypox. He breaks down the statistics. The videos they're not too bad. Some of them are 10 minutes, some of them are 13. This one right here, where about encephalitis is 28 minutes. So, if you feel like it's helpful for you, why not have it, right? So that is MedCram. Then we have another one called Nursing Camp. Let's look it up. Let's look it up real quick. Let's see. So yeah, Nursing Camp, she essentially does the same thing, or not she, but they essentially do the same thing. It's by another dude named Kevin. Is it Palmaville? He has over 17 years of nursing experience. So they talk about all different types of stuff too. So hypertension, hypotension, case studies, pulmonary. They do talk about STEMIs. They talk about all different types of stuff that you would need to know for nursing school, and all the different stuff that you would need to know for NCLEX. Okay, so right here. Definitely a good one to check out. MedCram. Nursing Camp. MedCram was the one before that, but Nursing Camp. Okay. Let's see what else. You got Med Simplified. That's another good one. Med Simplified. Let's see what they got going on over here. Med Simplified. So yeah, okay. So Med Simplified, they have 1.1 million subscribers. Everything that you could really think of, and it doesn't even necessarily have to do with with nursing in general. It talks about just medical stuff. So like right here, one of their videos right here says the top 10 germ infected areas you touch. So how to detox your lungs, like that. They made that video 2 years ago, and it got 6.6 million views. So obviously, whatever they're putting out some good stuff. Let's look at whatever else. Let's see what else. Another one called Tony Farm D. So just like the name says, Tony Farm D, talking about pharmacology. Let's look it up. Tony Farm D. Let's see what's popping. So yeah, Tony Farm D have slides on pretty much everything that you would need to know about pharmacology. Sorry, y'all, I got to sit up because my back and I can't breathe, right? So Tony Farm D, if you really want to understand pharmacology or you really want to get a better understanding about pharmacology, Tony Farm D is a really good one because all he specifically talks about is pharmacology. And he talks about specific things such as, gastrointestinal pharmacology, respiratory meds for pharmacology, of course, cardiac meds, how to remember cancer medications, all that stuff. So it's not just for nursing, but you can get a lot out. You can get a lot out of that out of this YouTube channel when you're trying to learn pharmacology. I looked at it maybe once or twice, but he definitely has a good amount of videos on here that are super helpful. All right. So if you're just now joining, my name's Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. I'm an RN. I'm a nurse, obviously. I'm an NCLEX coach, mentor. I actually have a website, www.thebootnurse.com, where I offer NCLEX coaching. So if anybody is on their journey to the NCLEX, worried about the new generation NCLEX or any of that jazz, or a repeat test taker, which are always my favorite, make sure you guys check out that website. And of course, all social media platforms, everything is at the Boot Nurse. So holler me at on Instagram. I'm super active on Instagram. So if you got any questions, just hit me up over there as well too. So, all right. So we just talked about Tony Farm D, right? So let's see what's another good one. Hey, if you guys know some really good, YouTube channels, drop them in the chat, because whoever is here or may show up, they may be able to see those, and those are super duper helpful YouTube channels that can help out people. All right. Hey, don't forget to smash that like button either. Like, go ahead and give me all the love. Give me all them hearts. All right. Let's see. Another one, nursing SOS. So, like nursing help. Send help immediately. Right. Let's see. Nursing SOS. So they have 124,000 subscribers. They talk about nursing fundamentals, med surg, pathophysiology, all that good stuff. All right. So there's ones that are right here about diabetic care. What is it? How to ace nursing fundamentals. So this obviously will help you get through nursing school. All right. And just like I said, if you guys know some YouTube videos or some YouTube channels that are super helpful, drop them in the chat, because they may be super helpful for other people. Okay. So yeah, nursing SOS, send help YouTube channel. One I definitely recommend. That's on my list. That's on my list of recommended things to help people out there. So definitely check them out. Let's see another one. Another YouTube channel called Zero to Finals. Let's see, Zero to Finals. So Zero to Finals. They have 517,000 subscribers. It's to help students study medicine. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, nursing, but it could be, PAs, nurses, med students, whomever, right? So understanding, like they have videos right here, understanding the urinary tract, the head impulse test, understanding leg and foot ulcers. So if you are one of those nurses and you eventually want to become a what they call a wound ostomy nurse, where you're studying not pressure ulcers. Yeah, you're studying the skin and pressure ulcers and all that other good stuff. Like this is a really good channel and a really good slide to look at called Understanding the Leg and Foot Ulcers on Zero to Finals. So if anybody's in nursing school, this is probably a very, very good YouTube channel for you guys to follow. So it's called Zero to Finals. And it's to help any student in medicine. So it doesn't necessarily have to be nursing. All right. If you guys just joined, my name's Kevin. I'm a nurse, specifically an OR nurse, because a lot of people are asking where I work at now. I work in the operating room. I worked in the ICU for about a year between 3 different ICUs, and yeah, had to leave, and then went back to the operating room. I used to be a surgical tech, so I went back essentially to my first love of being in the operating room. So instead of being a tech, now I'm a nurse. But I can still scrub in if they need me to. So let's not get that twisted. All right. So right now we're talking about study tips, helpful YouTube channels and videos that can help people out while they're in nursing school, as well as when they're studying for their NCLEX. Okay. If anybody, of course, needs help, here's my website up here. Go check it out, and schedule yourself. You just won't be able to schedule yourself for next week because your boy's going to Disney World. So there's that. Let's see. What's another good one on here? The Amoeba Sisters. Amoeba, AMEOBA, sisters. So let's check them out. Let's check them out right now. Amoeba Sisters. So the Amoeba Sisters, essentially what it says, we are 2 sisters on a mission to demystify science with humor. That's what they're about, right? So, but, they have all different types of stuff for biology, learning the body system, the immune system, cellular respirations, biomolecules, all different types of stuff, the nervous system. So if you're in nursing school, this is a good one for you. If you're in nursing school, this is a really good website and a really good YouTube channel for you to check out. Okay. So don't forget it. Write it down. The Amoeba Sisters. Let's see. Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology. So this is a really good one when you're taking, of course, anatomy and physiology, right? So let's check it out. Let's see what they got. Crash Course Anatomy and Physiology. Let's see what's popping up. All right, Crash Course. Essentially, okay, so it's called Crash Course. That's what the website, or that's what the YouTube channel is called. It's called Crash Course. But they specifically can hone in on anatomy and physiology, okay? But they have 14 million subscribers. Like this first video that's popping up has 25,000 views. It's the latest one that they did. And it talks about, greenhouse gases, how they affect the climate and all that good stuff. But if you type in anatomy and physiology, you'll see where it says Intro to Physiology, and it talks about all of them, and it's written by, or it's published. You'll see a name named Tony Reed under there. All right, and they're pink, and it's a skeleton with like glasses, and the shades are stars. So, and then they have other ones that are on here. So go check out their playlist if you are looking to study with the anatomy and physiology aspect of trying to learn for nursing school, or while you're in your prerequisites. Definitely a good one to check out. So it's called Crash Course, and then look up under their list anatomy and physiology. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong, can't go wrong, can't go wrong. All right. The next one is Nexus Nursing. So NEXUS. All right. Check it out. NEXUS. Nexus Nursing. All right. Hey, if you guys are finding value, make sure you guys smash that button for me. If you guys just joined, welcome. My name's Kevin. We're talking about the NCLEX nursing school, nursing tips to kind of help you guys get through it. If you guys need coaching, this is my website. Come check it out. So yeah, right here, what is it? Nexus Nursing has 119,000 subscribers. Talking about reviewing for the NCLEX, fundamentals of nursing. So this one right here essentially helps you for NCLEX. So anybody who's studying for NCLEX, good channel to check out. I don't even know where all my words are, but good channel to check out. All right. How y'all doing? Hey, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know where you guys are from, where you are in your nursing journey. Like what kind of questions do you guys have? Somebody asked me earlier about how to become a patient care tech. I was like, hey, if you want to be a patient care tech, I ain't got no problem answering that question for you. It's actually really easy if you want to be a patient care tech. So, all right, let's see. And the last one that I have on here, of course, are Mark Klimek audios. The Mark Klimek audios, if you guys don't know, Mark Klimek is, he was a professor somewhere, I think in like Ohio. He retired a couple years ago. He has the most pirated NCLEX review like on the planet because he really does drop some dimes. I mean, he drops some really, really, really good, knowledgeable things, and he makes it relatable, to where it's not so confusing in big medical or nursing terms. But Mark Klimek audios are great. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Spotify. You can find them all different types of stuff, right? You just better get your fill, because if you don't, they're going to come down, because they'll get copyright striked on YouTube or copyright striked on Spotify or whatever those other streaming platforms are. And yeah, they'll pull them down. But here's the thing too, is that those videos are old. They were back in 2008, 9, or 10. Some of y'all were probably still in the single digits. That kind of makes me feel old now, but some of y'all are probably still in the single digits. And he definitely has a lot of relatable stuff on there. And it's a review, so it's not supposed to take the place of nursing school, because nothing can really take the place of that, right? So Mark Klimek Audios, make sure you guys check him out. He does have a website. It's called Klimek Reviews. I actually took his actual review back in 2019. I have the infamous yellow book and the blue book, like the physical copies. So so those are some helpful videos and audios that you guys can use when you guys are in nursing school, but especially if you guys are studying for NCLEX. Okay, so that's pretty much all the tips that I have in regards to the video. So if you guys are finding value, make sure you guys smash that like button. Give me some of that love. Give me some of them hearts. So yeah, the Mark Klimek audios, like I said, you can't go wrong. They're old. They're outdated. They're definitely about to be outdated with the NCLEX changing, but you can still use them. They're still about 90% accurate. There's a couple of nuances in there that are outdated, that are now been updated by medications. Such as when you have a ventricular dysrhythmia or anything that's going on with a patient, the first thing you want to do is lidocaine. Instead of, I'm not lidocaine, but amiodarone. You use amiodarone. See, I'm remembering what he said in the audio, but it's amiodarone. Lidocaine is no longer needed. And if they ask you a question like that, where it's ventricular or lidocaine, it is, or if it's lidocaine or amiodarone, you better pick amiodarone. Because I actually had an NCLEX question where it was talking about a ventricular dysrhythmia. I want to say it was VTAC. And they had amiodarone and lidocaine. And then immediately, I already knew the answer was amiodarone, but I picked lidocaine anyway. And of course, I got it wrong. So it is amiodarone if you have a ventricular dysrhythmia, such as VTAC, if they have a pulseless rhythm with VTAC. If it's ventricular fibrillation, first thing you're going to want to do is defib. Got to get them to a shockable rhythm. And so that they can have cardiac output, because they're not having no cardiac output at that point, right? So once again, if you guys just joined, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach / mentor for nursing. We're talking about study stuff right now for nursing school and for NCLEX. So if you guys got any questions, drop them down. Hopefully I can answer them to the best of my abilities. We just got finished giving tips on not tips, but study materials such as YouTube videos. I'm all about YouTube videos. I'm pretty sure YouTube videos have helped the majority of people get through nursing school. I don't even understand why we have a nursing school and I have to pay them so much money when I could have just gave all my money to YouTube, and I would have probably done just as well, right? So yeah. So we can go back over those. If you guys have any suggestions with YouTube videos that are helpful for nursing students or that are helpful for NCLEX, drop them in the comments. That way, other people can use them. Okay, because sharing is caring around here. Another good website is called Purpose Games. So essentially, what Purpose Games is, it provides free games to help you memorize topics. So if you're in nursing school and you're trying to learn about cranial nerves, they have games to help you remember cranial nerves. Gone are the days where telling people to sit and go read a book, because we all absorb knowledge differently, right? If you put a book in front of me, I'm going to fall asleep. If you ever want to try to fall asleep really fast, break out a medical book, sit there and read it for 10 minutes, and then you'll probably have a really good sleep at that point. So, but yeah, Purpose Games. What is it? They have time lab exams. The accounts are free for you to sign up. You can make your own quiz. Just play around with it. If you decide it works for you, cool. If not, then hey, at least you tried it, and it's free. I'm all about free 99, right? Sometimes free 99 is not the way to go when you invest in yourself, but hey, to get a free account and for you to use up all those free tools that they offer, why not take advantage of it, all right? What's another one? Of course, I was talking about Picmonic. Picmonic, their website, they have all different types of free content. Or they have all the content essentially that you would need. So like from farm, A&P, micro, etc. They actually have a tab under there. It's called like Picmonic for Life. And it's like $1 a month or $10 a month or something like that. But it has essentially you buy it like when you get into nursing school or even with your prereqs before nursing school. And it's like a 10-year plan, but it's super cheap. It's like $1 a month or something along the lines of that. Which I'm just like, wow. Who would have ever thought that, you could find something like a 10-year plan? As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Because, let's see. Because, of course, and you can try Picmonic for free as well. So, and Picmonic isn't just for nurses. They have where you can do, physician assistants, doctors, nurse practitioners, occupational therapy, all those different types, right? So I actually want to see their pricing. It's been a while since I've been on their stuff, so let's see. If you guys are finding value, make sure you guys smash that like button. Give me all them hearts. Give me all that love. All that love y'all trying to give over there. I want to see what their pricing is, though. I don't know why I can't find it. But it's definitely on here. It's definitely on here for sure. So, let me go to RN. So, yeah. So, like, right now, you can actually buy, like, a Picmonic subscription. What is it? $4.19 a month. Well, essentially, it's breaking down to $4.19 a month. So, you'll pay $100 up front. And when you pay $100 up front, it's for 24 months. So it's like some of that you can't, like a lot of that you can't beat. And hell, they even have one where it says you plus 4 friends. So you can get you plus 4 friends where you guys all sign up together and you get a 30% off. So, I mean, like I said, if there's all this material that's out there for you guys to use, why not use it? And a lot of times I don't even say, hey, go buy this. I tell you to invest in yourself. So I had somebody come up to me and tell me that they were just like, hey, I can't afford it. And I was like, well, what if it was an emergency? Like, what if this was your car? And they were like, well, if it was my car, I would find ways to pay for it. And I was just like, well, I mean, you have already dedicated so much time to getting through nursing school and studying for this NCLEX. And I was like, wouldn't you constitute this as an emergency? And they'd be like, yeah. So invest in yourself. When you think about you're buying something, you have to invest. Don't think about it as when you're buying. Think about it as when you're investing, because you're investing in yourself. You are your own worst enemy, but you are your greatest asset. So it all depends on you and what you want to do with yourself. So Picmonic, they have like I said, they have all different types of things up here. And let's see. I know, like, for maybe it was I forgot exactly which one it was. Maybe it was pre-health, where they have, it's like the Picmonic for Life. Anyways, you guys go through it, look at it, see how you like it, all that good jazz. If you guys find value, make sure you guys smashing that button. If you guys just joining, my name's Kevin. I'm a nurse. We're talking about NCLEX, the licensing exam, study tips. I just gave away a whole list of videos that were super helpful for me. So hopefully they were helpful for you if you were here for them. Hey, there it is. And if you guys know of any really good videos that are on YouTube or good study material or stuff that may be free or stuff that may be discounted or whatever, drop it in the chat, because, sharing is caring. It may be helpful for somebody else, all right? So we talked about Picmonic. So here's some other good ones. You have nurselab.com, and then you have nursehub.com and yourbestgrade.com. I've actually talked about Your Best Grade. If you guys go on to my TikTok profile, you'll see where it says what is your best grade, and it's a really, really good, helpful study tool that gives you free practice exams. So if you want free, there's a bunch of free stuff that's out here. Okay. There's another one. It's called apricad.com. I was about to say apricots, but it's like apricad.com. It includes different type of teaching / learning methods like videos, handouts, flashcards, and tests. And of course, the best part about that is that website is also free. If these things have changed, because you got to think all these places are subject to change. If they're not free no more, hey, they're not free no more. I'm just going off of what I know recently, and I knew that these things are free. So, appercad.com for free study material. All right, go make yourself an account, get you your free study material, and then go on about your day. So if you're studying in nursing school for med surg, fundamentals, health assessments, whatever, and it has videos, flashcards, and tests. So go take advantage of that. Okay. That's pretty much it. Like on the helpful study tips. I have a couple of other things on here, but it's more for school and it's more for clinicals. I actually did a video on YouTube where I was talking about best nursing shoes. So they have good nursing shoes that are out there. And this is actually just good to know in general, because when you're in nursing school, you're not just going to go get you a pair of nursing shoes and then never wear them again. No, you're going to wear them for a long time. Like I've had the same shoes probably for the past, since I started working as a nurse. So almost 3 years. And, like they've been really, really good. Like they've been good to me. So, I have what they call SNIBs. So it's SNIBBS. Made by an orthopedic surgeon, orthopedic surgeon, so knows all about the feet, and created a very, very good shoe. At least for me, I'm flat-footed, so for us flat-footed individuals, it's definitely a really good shoe for people to check out. Then they have Clove. So Clove, if you guys ever go to the website and look at Clove, it'll have the C with the line above it, and so it actually stands for with love. And I was just like, whoa, hold up. Really? So, yeah. So Clove stands for with love. So if you guys get a chance to check them out, their website's pretty nice. These shoes, of course, everything is starting to go up with inflation. So good luck on finding these shoes to be under $100. I got my SNIBs, I want to say for $135. Clove probably runs about that, like $135, $150-ish. So it all just depends on what you find. And then, of course, you got your Nikes, you got your Asics, you got your Brooks, you got your Skechers, you got your Adidas. I see a lot of people wear Skechers. You got your Hoka. And it's really crazy when I see people walk around in Hokas, because they kind of look like clown shoes, but in the opposite direction because they're so thick. But those shoes will cost you anywhere from $200 to $400. Because Hokas are usually our runner shoes. And if you're on the floor walking all the time, of course, we want some really comfortable shoes. But, hey, you swear by Brooks. Hey, I had a pair of Brooks a long, long time ago. But like I said, I'm flat-footed, so it took me a while to actually find a good pair of shoes. My biggest thing was I needed non-slip shoes, because when I was working in the operating room, because they're always spilling stuff, and we're always cleaning the floors, and we're always doing all that good stuff, right? So the SNIBs to me were like really, really good shoes because they're non-slip. I've actually seen a girl that worked at this restaurant. It's called Snooze. Anybody? Hey, if you ever heard of Snooze, smash that like button if you ever heard of Snooze. Yeah, I saw a girl that worked at a restaurant who had SNIBs on, so that made me feel really good about the pair of shoes that I bought. So, wait, what does that say? GTS 20 saved me from leaving nurse. Hey, that's what I'm saying. That because it freaking would have fallen all over the place, or the knees would have just buckled in or something like that. So, hey, I might have to check those out though. Those Brooks. I might have to check them out, because I'm all about shoes. I'm all about like what's comfortable, the longevity. I'm actually about to buy me a new pair of shoes. Like I said, I've had these for almost 3 years. And they about ran their course. The SNIBs are a little heavy though, but not too bad. Not too bad. Size 11 in men, Lord of mercy. Hey, I ain't hating on you. So of course you got what's some other good shoes out there? Danceco's, the Holland shoes, right? I see everybody wear those. They have different variants of those shoes too, but I see a whole bunch of people out there wearing Danceco's, and I don't know. I've seen some people just lose their footing and break ankles while they're walking. And by break ankles, I mean they own ankles. So I tried to wear them one time. I just wasn't a fan of the Danceco's, but hey, Danceco's will run you. I want to say on average they're like $170 to $200, or no, as high as like the $300. So it depends on how bougie you want to be. So like if you work in you work in the CVICU, you'll probably, everybody in there probably got on a pair of Danskos. Apparently, I heard somebody say that the Danskos are the Ferrari of the nursing shoes or of the medical shoes, and I'm just like, maybe. I don't own a pair. I don't care to have them. So, but hey, they're out there and they're available. Then what's another one? Of course, Crocs. Everybody and their mama got some Crocs. I don't got Crocs. I have, I don't know, a pair of $7 Croc lookalikes from Walmart. I showed them to my niece and she was just like, Uncle, what are those? I was just like, I don't know. I got them from Walmart. And she was like, those are rocks because they're knockoff Crocs. So she called them rocks. I'm like, what the hell? Kids are terrible. That 9-year-old roasted me and I was not a fan. I was not a fan of her roasting me at all. The GTS 20s are the Mercedes. So what are they? The Brooks GTS 20. I see now you done said this twice, so now I want to look at it. Let's see. Brooks GTS 20. The 20 Adrenaline. Oh, them things is expensive. That ain't bad though. Those ain't too bad. I mean, for what are they? They run 160. It looks like they run 160 across the board. Somebody else I know has a pair of these. I think one of the techs I work with, he has a pair of these. I might just steal his right off his feet. No, I ain't gonna do that. But hey, those do look comfy. Are they giving a discount? No, I don't want a pair of shoes. See, look what you done did. Made me go to this website. Bins for comfort. Hey, okay. All right. You're right. Bins for comfort. Some other good things. If you're going into nursing school, get a reliable stethoscope. I legitimately told somebody, hey, get a reliable stethoscope. Like, it's okay for you to go spend a little bit of money. I ain't trying to tell you to go spend, $400 on that Echo. I ain't trying to have you do all that, but definitely go out there and get you a reliable stethoscope. They have Littman stethoscopes that are like less than $100. I think I actually got my Littman stethoscope for like $60 on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, one of the two, through Amazon. And I've had that same Littman since, when I was in nursing school in like 2017. Like, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong at all. A clipboard. They have those clipboards that you can buy off Amazon that fold up. And it's kind of like a cheat sheet. I don't have one. I just had like a regular clear clipboard that opened up that put all my pens and my notes and stuff like that in there. But definitely get yourself a good clipboard. Not just for nursing school, but that they really do come in handy. I actually still have it in here somewhere that I'll take it to work every so often. But now it's just like, I already know exactly what I'm going to do. I write it down on a piece of paper that's right there with me, and I just go on about my business. I'm studying for my ATI for LPN to BSN. Like ATI to get into nursing, to get into RN school? Or you're studying the ATI to graduate? Yeah, you have to elaborate a little bit on that for me. Hey, if you guys are just joining, my name's Kevin. I'm an RN. I've been an RN for almost 3 years. I'm an NCLEX coach. Nursing coach, so hey, wherever you're trying to go in your direction in life with nursing, I'm your guy. We just went over YouTube channels. So sorry if you guys missed that. If you guys know some really good, helpful YouTube channels, drop them down in the comments. Hey, smash that like button. Hey, give me like at least 1,000 likes. I don't care if you got to spam the button and just sit there and just listen to my annoying ass voice. Do it now. But, yeah, we're going over helpful tips. We're talking about some really good websites, as well as we were talking about, things that you need for school, clinicals, and beyond, right? So really good shoes, really, clipboard, a good laptop as well. So I've been using the same laptop since nursing school. So definitely check those out. They told me since it's been 20 years, I need to take the PN predictor. That sounds dumb. They stupid. I mean, I get, at this point, hey, I appreciate the rose. Hey, thank you so much. at this point, it's just playing the game. The thing about it is just like, you've been an LPN for a long time. And yeah, you've been an LPN for a long time. So you know exactly, what you need to do in order for you to, kind of play the game, right? One thing I will say about becoming an LPN or LVN and going to be an RN is that, of course, it's very different because you have to think like an RN rather than think like an LPN. A lot of LPNs had a hard time, even though LPNs that have been, LPNs for a long time, they had a hard time passing that exam. So because they just couldn't get over the fact, they'd be like, oh man, that's not how you do it in the real world. This is stupid. So they try to beat the test, but that's just not how it goes. So you got to play the game. Play the game. Once you understand and you get over the fact that they want you to play the game, you will pass that exam. And I'm speaking specifically for people that are LVNs or, have, years of experience doing anything medical around nurses. So, yeah, definitely that delegation and that scope of practice, that'll change you for sure. So, like I said, good laptop. If anybody's in nursing school, a really good laptop, I don't care what nobody says, is MacBook Air. I actually got a MacBook Air for $600 brand new on Black Friday at Best Buy. Now, pretty sure if everybody doesn't know is that on Black Friday they always do something with the something's going on. And with Black Friday, I guess it's like, they give you the cheaper version or blah, 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 or whatever the hell, right? So for me, I've had that laptop since 2016 and we are now in 2023. I don't math well. I'm pretty sure that's 7 years. Somebody tell me if that's 7 years. But I've had that same laptop. Where the hell is it? It's somewhere. But I've had that same laptop for 7 years and it's never done me wrong. And I used it the entire time when I was in nursing school. So a really good, reliable laptop is that one. Another one I know one of my friends used was the, what is it called? It's called the Surface Pro. She loved it. She speaks very highly of the Surface Pro. The only type of PC that I own is this one that's right here in front of me that I built. Any other type of PC, anything, I don't have. So, I'm not an Apple fanboy because I got this PC, I got this phone because I have the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I got this watch. But I got a freaking iMac over here. I have this iPhone right here, and yeah, I probably shouldn't have moved that because it was kind of holding my stuff up. But yeah, definitely can recommend the MacBook. I used the MacBook in nursing school, made everything easier. I know that's right. Let them know. What is it? Question. I'm NCLEX if you select some right. Or I'm guessing you meant on NCLEX if you select some right answers on SATA, you get credit. So currently, with the NCLEX that's right now, is if you get one wrong, it's all wrong. Now, when the NCLEX changes on April 1st of 2023, this is not a drill. This is not a joke. This is not April Fool's. The NCLEX is changing. So when the NCLEX changes on April 1st, it will then give you partial credit. So if you have a select all that apply and it has 7 to 8 answers, and you pick 4 out of the 7 correctly, or let's just say you picked 5 and out of the 5, one of them was incorrect, they'll give you partial credit for the ones that you got right. So instead of it being a full point, it'll be 4 or 5 points that you would get, right? Fill in the blanks are not terrible. So, but with the fill in the blanks, it's like, you don't have to type it in. The fill in the blanks, it'll give you like a drop. It's like a drop box. And then it has the ones that you can select, So, and I guess I could say is that, here's the thing. If you guys don't follow me on YouTube or anything like that, I failed my NCLEX 4 times. I failed my NCLEX 3 times and I passed it on the 4th. And it's really funny when, hindsight's 2020, I sit here and I think to myself, why did I ever think that test was so hard? The critical thinking aspect of the NCLEX that's changing, it's very, very needed. I sit here and I look at those questions and I'm just like, oh, of course, that's easy. But I say that it's easy because I've been working in the field. I worked in critical care for a little over a year, and now I work in surgical services. But it's a lot of that stuff is still very pertinent. So you have to know if I give you a disease process of what's happening to my patient, and if I give you a scenario, what direction are you going to go first? Like, what is the very first thing that I want for you to do? Like, what is the most important? What is something that if I don't take care of, my patient is going to die, right? And when I started working in the ICU, it was after COVID, and I worked in a burn ICU for 6 months. That's my first nursing experience that I ever got. Then I worked in a medical and neuro ICU for the next like 6 or 7 months after that. When people are dying on you, shit changes. Your thought process changes on what you need to do. I can't tell you how many times I've sat and I've stared at a monitor watching a patient just go up and go down, trying to figure out what's going on with other nurses that I work with that come in there doing the same exact thing, just standing there like, what do you think? Or you're looking at the EKG trying to figure out, oh, are they having a heart attack? Oh, are they having this? Are they having a STEMI? Oh, is that a heart block? Oh, okay. That looks like VTAC. Oh, okay. That looks like a PVC. Or RNT phenomena. Oh, okay. You start really, it start really churning. So it's good that I honestly think that it's good that the NCLEX is changing. Because I feel like if I would have gotten that type of scenario based when I was taking it, I think I would have done a lot better. But hey, you never know. The things are changing. When it first changes, there's going to be hiccups in it. The best thing that you need to do for yourself is to prepare. Okay. So if anybody ever needs help with coaching or anything like that, here's the website. Go check me out. All right. So yeah, MacBook. Awesome. What is it? I'm charming. Hey, you needed this. Hey, I'm here for you. I'm here for you and I'm here for it. Fill in the blanks. Yep. It's a drop. Yep. Drop down menu auction. Fill in the blanks are like multiple choice, basically. Absolutely. Am I an RN? Who is that? Michelle? Yes, ma'am. I am an RN. I don't know if she's still in here, though. But yes, I am an RN. I have been an RN. It'll be 3 years coming up in June. I'm an NCLEX coach. It's ironic because I've been an instructor or a teacher since 2015. Like I was a surgical technology instructor for about 3.5 years. I taught every aspect of that program. Then I became another instructor at a different command when I was active duty in the Navy, and I taught a plethora of different courses. So I understand the aspects of teaching and educating. Giving, hopefully being able to bring some things to light and give you more insight. But also, I started coaching and helping other nurses like right after I passed my NCLEX, because the one thing I said to myself is I never want anyone to feel how I felt. I never want anyone to feel lost. I never want anyone to feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. I never want anybody to feel like they feel stupid. If you feel like if you feel stupid or you feel like you're down there, just know that you are not alone to have ever felt that way. And I'm not about the negativity either. I've heard some people come in here to be like, well, if you can't pass it, you don't be a nurse. Hey, bro, that's the quickest way to get that ass blocked. So just because you understood it the first time, number one, doesn't mean that you're a good fucking nurse. And number two, does not mean anything. All this test does is test your basic level of nurse safety. When you get on that floor, then you're going to really see when you put it to patient, right? You're going to really see about all the information that you put to patient. And it takes time. Your first year of nursing is going to suck badly just for the fact of you just trying to adjust. And it's so much information. It could be very sensory overload, which is why I always recommend you get yourself a mentor. 100% get yourself a mentor in the area that you're working in. All right. So, and gone are the days where people are just saying you have to go to med-surg first. If you don't know where you want to go as a nurse, go to med-surg. There's nothing wrong with that. You get the basics of nursing. That is nursing, med-surg, right? But if you know in your heart of hearts that you want to go to ICU or you want to go to OR, you want to go to oncology, or you want to go to labor and delivery or peds, go there. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to where you want to go. All right. Can you speak on the differences and difficulty as you took them over? Did it increase or did it stay the same? So the very first time I took the exam, it was 75 questions. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought I knew because I was just this dude who was just like, man, I don't need to study for this. I already know most of it. I've been working as a corpsman for this long. I'm an instructor. I don't need it. Boom, 75 questions, failed, right? So when I got my breakdown, it was below. A lot of belows. A lot of above, a lot of near. The second time I took it, I got 265 questions. Now, none of y'all, I don't think, in this room have experienced a 265 question NCLEX RN. Let me tell you, if you want to talk about endurance, that was probably the worst exam I've ever taken ever, like in my professional life. It was 265 questions. My vision started kind of closing in on me. The test it seemed like it was easy, but then I started to realize they were asking me very easy questions like, hey, you have a patient who has this, what blood pressure is out of the normal? If they're asking you what a normal blood pressure is on the NCLEX, the light bulb might want to go off in your head to be like, they're asking me an easy question. Probably not doing so hot, right? And so with that one, it was just like, man, I don't know. And then I failed it at 265. I had 20 seconds left before that test cut off on me. So imagine how I felt. That was a terrible feeling. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn around. I'm going to bounce back. And then I studied again. I got 106 questions and then I failed. And I really thought I did well. I felt more prepared. I felt like I studied a lot more. There was still stuff that I didn't do. I didn't feel like I was so accountable. And then I failed it. And then when I took it the fourth time, it just felt easier because everything, I reflected on everything that I did wrong. Everything from, trying to study, sitting in the living room with the TV on mute and me having my phone and getting on, Instagram or Instagram after every 3 questions, you cut out some of the simple stuff. I practiced how the exam was. I practiced how the environment looked. And when I went in there, I took for the fourth time, I had 60 questions because it was right. Because they shut everything down like in April timeframe of 2020. And then I took my exam in June of 2020 and it was only 60 questions. So I sat I was at an hour and 5 minutes and then it cut off. And when it cut off, I was like, okay, because the whole time I was taking the test, I was cool. But then the moment that it turned off, it was just like stomach ass out here. It was the level of anxiety that happened right after that was crazy. But I'm glad it happened after the exam. So I felt like the difficulty of the exam, it got easier, mostly for the fact that I was able to adjust of what I wasn't doing previously, kind of honed in on those areas in the beginning. And then I took it in stride, right? And I put myself on a schedule. Like one big thing I always say is put yourself on a schedule. Time management. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So you need to be able to allocate your time. Hey, if your friends want to go out, hey, just offset your life temporarily so you can set yourself up permanently, for the future. All right. So I hope that answered your question. I graduated in July of last year, but haven't tried to take my exam. Why? Is it Micheline or Michelle? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, ma'am. Why have you not taken that exam? I'm scheduled to take it this month. Oh, okay, cool. I see that. I see you. As an RN, good for you. When are you taking your exam? By the way, like what day? Because it's fast approaching. I graduated. Yeah, it's okay to be nervous. Don't be scared of that exam. Here's the one thing I want you. I don't know why usually when I get hyped, you see my hands, I literally start to do this. I'm like, hey, let me tell you something, right? Hey, be ready for it. Don't be scared of this exam. All right. The exam will make you nervous. It'll make you nervous because, you prepared a long time for this exam. And if you think about it, I'm not necessarily saying about nursing school, but you had to prepare to get your prereqs done. You had to prepare to get into nursing school. You had to get through nursing school, which is 1,000 times harder than the actual exam, NCLEX itself. And then you got to study for this exam, right? So don't be scared. Don't be scared of the exam, rather than be prepared for the exam. Test yourself. Put yourself on a schedule like I've always been saying. And, you take it this month. So I can only imagine it's within the next 2 weeks. I think you're going to be okay. I don't know. I'm not going to say this as a religious thing, but I say this to people all the time. If this is the worst thing that can happen to you, I think that's okay. Because I like to put things into perspective. I've been deployed a few times And I've been in places where, people ain't worried about if they pass the NCLEX. They worried about where they're going to get clean water. Or they're worried about their actual safety. And so I just like to put things in perspective like that. That's nothing against you. And that is not to disregard your feelings, because your feelings are valid. However, just, fruit for thought. If this is the worst thing that could happen to you, I think that might be okay. But I think you're going to be okay. I really do. I really do think you're going to be okay. Hey, if you guys just joined us, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. We're talking about study stuff. We're talking about, how my NCLEX experience was. If you guys got any questions, drop them down in the chat. If you guys know helpful tips or helpful videos on YouTube, I went through a whole bunch of them. Drop them down in the chat because they may be helpful for other people. You guys know good reviews or good material, drop them down in the chat as well. And make sure you guys smash that like button. Give me all the hearts. Give me all the love. Stop playing with me. All right. You take it this month. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, no problem. So, yeah. So, definitely, check those out for yourself. There's a really good app that I use every morning. It's called Balance. So, like, if you're standing and you're trying to, I ain't talking about Mary J. Blige where she's trying to do this. I'm talking about Balance, right? It's actually a really good app that essentially helps you meditate. I never was a big proponent of meditation, but the NCLEX exam is not just about taking this exam. It's not just about the test. It's about the overall version of you as a person. I talk about time management. I talk about accountability. So if there's anybody that's ever out there that has ever done my coaching, when I do my intake, I always tell them, I'm just like, hey, what's your time management like? What's your accountability like? Do you have a support system? A support system is very, very important, because a lot of people I have that I coach, they'll just be like, I don't have a support system. I'm like, that's cool. You got me. Even if you don't think you got me, you got me. You have a support system. And you have a true support system is because if you ever follow me on Instagram, I'm always people that reach out to me, people don't reach out to me for free stuff, even though sometimes they do. But I flat out tell them, I'm just like, hey man, ain't nothing wrong with what you're trying to do. You were trying to pass NCLEX. Hey, look at this. If you need help with this, I have a video for it. If you got this, I have a video for it. If you need help with coaching, and if you want more dedication and you want more time, you want somebody to sit there and go through the questions and the material and the answers with you, I got you. Like, we can make that happen, right? But support system, mom, dad, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids, grandma, grandpa, whoever, right? It's if you have a really great support system and people that truly, and I mean truly support you, who are not undermining or manipulative about trying to make themselves feel better about what you're doing, and making it all about them, that's not a good support system. But if you have a really good support system, then that's a blessing. Take advantage of that, and enjoy that, right? So, but for those individuals that don't have a good support system, or they feel like they don't, hey, I got you for sure. I for sure got you. My mom for real sure. Your mom is your support system. Is it Timsy Brazy 103? That's good. I'm glad that your mom is part of your support system. Definitely lean on that. Definitely lean on her for when you feel like you can't make it, right? And then a lot of times, here's another thing. I'm all about words of affirmation. I'm all about speaking things into existence, right? If you're about the negativity, hey, you see that door? Hey, get your ass get out my face, right? I don't breathe the negativity. Like I said, if you guys didn't hear what I said earlier, one dude said to me, he was like, well, apparently if you can't pass this exam, you don't need to be a nurse. Hey, bro, that's the quickest way to get blocked around here. Hey, don't come over here. Don't come over here with your negativity. And people that are going to be negative like that, like, I don't even want you being my nurse, bro. Like, you could be a good nurse, but if you have a stank ass attitude, hey, get away from me. So good support system. What's another good one? Questions. You can't take your exam unless you study questions. Can't take your exam unless you understand your content. Some people have what I call a content gap or a content deficit. So like, for example, I had no idea, I kid you not, what myasthenia gravis was until I started studying for NCLEX. And I watched a 30-minute video when I had Kaplan, because I talk about how I use Kaplan a lot when I was studying for NCLEX. And I used to watch a 30-minute video, and I was like, well, I'll be damned. Look at that. Look at how that worked. And because let's just be real, we all hate nursing school. I haven't met not one person ever who said that they loved every bit of nursing school. If they did, they're a psychopath, and you might want to choose your friends wisely. So, content and questions, you definitely got to understand. You definitely got to practice like you play. You definitely got to practice like you play. Okay. Who is that? Nurse K. Are you a psychopath? You was one of them, huh? You were just like, girl, I love nursing school. He can't tell me nothing. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop. Oh, damn. Okay. No, but for real. So, content, questions. Okay. Make sure you guys are doing them. What's another good one? Let's see. I have my notes here, but we just vibing up in here. So, is it true when they say nurses eat their young? Was it Timsy? What do you think? I want your opinion before I answer this. You know what? I don't want your opinion. I'm going to tell you the truth. Yes, they try to do that shit all the time. I've had nurses when I started working on the floor, when I was working on the ICU, that do that. And the biggest thing about it is like those nurses that try to eat their young. One, they feel like they have an inferiority complex. Like they're just like they have to have control of everything and they have to be a certain way to everybody, even if it's demeaning. Nursing is the most prestige profession in the United States, and it has been for 21 plus years. But most people don't understand what it's like to actually work as a nurse. And so I have experienced where nurses have tried to eat us. Like, I'm talking about Attack on Titan style. And I don't know if y'all are anime fans, but I'm talking some of these nurses they're ready. They're ready to get a new nurse or a student, and they're ready to just pounce on them. And it's actually a terrible feeling because remember, I'm an educator, so I've been a teacher, I've been an instructor for since 2015. So when I have a nurse who has a lot more experience than me trying to teach me, the way that they come off is very they think that you don't know when you have a little bit of information, and then they're just very cocky and very rude to you about the whole situation. And so I try to tell people, I'm just like, hey, you don't have to. I was just like, hey, you don't have to talk to me like that. Like, I understand what you're saying, and I'm picking up what you're putting down. However, like, can you convey that like in a different tone? Because you'll have some people they'll talk to you like you ain't shit. And I'm just like, even if you're a brand new person in there, you're still a human. And regardless, you're still a nurse. And don't look. That's one thing about me is that the moment that somebody decides they want to act crazy with me, I can become very confrontational because I know that they're trying to be, a rude person. And I don't do well with that. And I put people in their place real quick. And then, that's why I don't have a lot of friends. But you guys are my friends. So I appreciate you. But yes, nurses do eat their young. But the best thing in order to counteract that is to, when you feel that, is to nip that shit in the butt right at the beginning. As in, like, look, I understand that, you've been this nurse for this long, you've been doing this for this long, but I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I'm going to be continuously learning. So could you please not talk to me that way? All right. And so, like, if you can, and just don't talk to me like that. And then use your chain of command. Tell your charge nurse. If the charge nurse doesn't work, tell your nurse manager. If it doesn't work, tell your director. I had an issue with a nurse one day where she talked to me like I was one of her kids, and I had to stop. And she was just like, "Oh, are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not okay, because I'm about to tell you about yourself, but I need to chill out before I lose my job." And she was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" So I let her know flat out. I was just like, "Hey, so this is the last time that you're gonna preset me. Excuse me. That's the last time you're gonna preset me. That's number one. And then number two, hey, don't ever talk to me like I'm your child. I'm not your child. I'm not your husband. You're here to teach me. I'm here to learn. I want to keep it professional. I was just like, don't be rude to me. I was like, because if you're rude to me, best believe I'm about to be rude to you." And then she was just like, "Whoa, it's not that serious." And I was just like, "No, it is that serious." Never worked with her ever again because I'm not the one. And it could just be for the fact that I have had military experience and I'm very like, hey, fucking talk to me like you lost your goddamn mind. So there's that. But just be ready for it, because nursing is like 85 to 89% women. Man, yo, y'all be going after each other, bro. Like, it's crazy. And then sometimes you see me in the back just probably sponsored by Sprite Zero. No, I'm kidding. But y'all be going at it, man. So, but I'm glad I was able to give you that insight. But all in all, even though, you know, that still happens, it's a rewarding profession to be a part of. Competitive. Yeah, you know what? We'll go with that. It is a rewarding profession. There's one lady I follow. Her name is Whole Life Nurse on Instagram. And she says that you're the CEO of your license. I've never seen a license more diverse than a nursing license. Even if you're an LPN, because an LPN, LVN, you're still a nurse. It says nurse in the damn title. So, there's so many things that you can do. And then if you go travel, girl, stop. Go out here and make all this money. Stop playing games with me. So I'm glad I was able to give you insight. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. I see somebody else who had said something. I took my NCLEX today. I got a whole lot of SATA. Do you think I passed? It all just depends. The exam is computer adaptive. So it computely adapts to you. Computely. Is that a word? Is computely a word? I don't even know. But it is an adaptive exam, and it is 100% solely based off of you and how you answer your previous questions. When I took my first exam, which was 75 questions, I swear I had like 40. I had like 40 damn questions, or 40 questions that were SATA. Pretty sure I thought, the NCLEX just hated me because it specifically was like out to get me. But the last time I took the exam on the fourth exam, I had 9. And then I flew through it. So, it all just depends on you. But you'll never know what you're going to get. You'll never know what that answer is going to be or anything like that. So, LPN 18 years. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Miss Licensed Practical Nurse. That's what I'm talking about. You get points now for correct answers on SATA. Correction. You get points for getting answers correct on SATA after April 1st. So from now until April 30th or March 31st, you do not. Once April 1st hits, you do. Just to clarify. So, but shout out to you. Shout out to Miss LPN for 18 years. My cousin is LPN. She lives up in New York. Or I'm sorry, she lives in New Jersey, but works in New York. Balling out of control. She be going to the Caribbean all the time. I'm like, damn, I can't go. Who am I kidding? I can't go. I got these kids. I don't know who any of you people are. So goodbye. I forgot I can, you can turn that stuff off. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, once again, if you guys just joined me, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach, mentor. We're talking about study tips. We're talking about the exam for NCLEX. We're talking about just about whatever y'all want to talk about for nursing. So if you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down in the comments. If you have any study tips or study material that you feel may be useful for others, drop it down in the comments. If you know really good YouTube videos, drop them down in the comments. If you ain't smashing that like button and getting me to like 100 million likes, you are wrong. You are straight wrong. I am essential. Essential, all right? I'm essential, right? This is... This is by far my favorite damn picture of SpongeBob. I actually did on my... Hey, if you guys haven't, go check me out. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on all those social media platforms. If you guys go to my video on YouTube where it talks about my first nursing paycheck, I actually made fun. I did that on my video and I legit laughed. When I was recording the video, I did it 3 or 4 times. And then I was like, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. And then I laughed. I recorded and I laughed and I was like, man, I'm just going to keep that in there because that's actually really hilarious. So, oh, hey, every so often, if you having a bad day, just look up any SpongeBob meme. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. So, yeah, let's see what else we could talk about here. Has anybody ever heard of, it's called sleep learning. And the reason why I call it sleep learning is because you learn while you sleep. That's what it's actually, the actual term is called hypnopedia. One way that I was trying to study back in the day was I accidentally fell asleep while I was studying, which means I fell asleep while I was studying. I took a nap. Nap should be mandatory. If children can nap, all adults should have a mandatory nap. Damn it. At least 90 minutes. Way more productivity after that. But I fell asleep one day listening to the Mark Klimic audios. And then, ironically, it was like the psychosocial or therapeutic communication or about psych patients. No bullshit. Woke up. And I didn't say I knew every psych question, but once I started getting psych questions that had to do with therapeutic communication, never got any of them wrong. Every single time I looked at the psych session, it was 60 and above. Never got anything less than a 60% in that section. And when you guys are taking NCLEX or you guys are using like, what is it, like Archer or UWorld or Kaplan or any of those reviews, anything above a 50 is passing because it based off the median, right? So if I'm at a 60, that means I'm 10 points above it. So that means I'm blowing that section way out of the water. All right. So the reason why I say something about sleep learning is because I fell asleep listening to that, and it legit was completely by accident. And I woke up, and all I could hear is Mark Klimic in my ear. Right. Imagine listening to a song that you hate, and then you hear it in your head the whole time. It's dumb. But that's the one thing about our brain is that it's a machine and it's continuously learning. It's a machine and it's continuously learning. So imagine if you like walked in the mall or if you walked in the Hot Topic. Hot Topic was just the first thing that came to my head. But you hear a song and you don't know it. And then, like an hour or so later, like you're humming it and you're like, damn, where did I hear that song from? Like you inadvertently and passively learned, a song in your brain and you have no idea where it came from. So if you're one of those people who's trying to learn material, not saying to blast it while you're sleeping. If you're single, I'm pretty sure you have a cat or a dog who doesn't mind listening to it. But let's be considerate to your significant others, okay? Just saying. Sorry if you guys hear my son. He's being a turd right now. It's bedtime and he don't want to go to bed. It's called Hypnopedia Sleep Learning. So check it out. Try it. And that's the thing. It's just like, you just try it. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying it, right? Who's going to know? Unless you tell them. Except for me. Because I'm going to assume everybody's going to do it now. So... so Hypnopedia, different types of study materials to use, such as podcasts. Of course, the Mark Klimic audio, we talked about him. Hey, so last time I did a live, somebody told me that he died, and I got real sad, the fact that they did that. But it turns out he didn't die, he retired, right? Because I went to Mark Klimic's actual review a couple of years ago, and I have the yellow book and blue book. Like the yellow book is like right here. I'll show y'all. This is the actual yellow book right here that I got. And I was actually going to give it to one of my students. I was just going to give it to him. And it was I was just like, nah, I'm going to hold on to it. It holds a lot of sentimental value, so I'm just going to hold. I got a bunch of other study stuff that's in my closet that I just need to give up. So, hey, there's that. Just passed the NCLEX on the 4th time using Archer. Hey, who is that? What is it? Username too long. Hey, congratulations to you on passing using Archer. But biggest thing, congratulations on passing. Welcome to nursing. Welcome to the shit show. I'm just kidding. Hey, but for real though, 4th time, congratulations. I passed on my 4th time. March 4th, first time taking it. Got it. Hey, you gotta give us more context, okay? All right, you gotta give us more context right off the bat. All right. Hey, but on the 4th, that was what? Yeah, that was a couple days ago. So congratulations on passing. Hey, I don't care if it was your first time or your 10th time, right? You passed it on the first, so you just don't have to worry about the other 9. But congratulations to you on passing. Welcome to nursing. What kind of nurse are you trying to be? What kind of nurse are you trying to do? Let everybody know. You done came up in here swinging, so now we about to be all up in your business. And you ain't passed, we passed. That's our nursing license. What you think this was? No, I'm playing. But what type of nurse do you want to be? Let us know. Let us know down in the comments. Hey, speaking of that, where y'all from? Y'all let me know where y'all from. Where y'all hailing? And by hailing, I mean like where do you guys live? We use big words sometimes around here. So let me know where y'all are from. Let me know where you are in your nursing journey. You are RN, LPN. I mean, are you a RN or are you a LPN? Are you a student? Nebraska? Cornhuskers? You a Cornhusker? Minnesota? Oh, you already know what I'm about to do. Minnesota. Brooklyn. Marcy Projects. Hey, I don't know nothing about Marcy Projects. I heard that on the Chappelle Show, so I don't mean no disrespect at all. None whatsoever. My mom's from Brooklyn, though. Don't ask me where. Don't ask me where from Brooklyn. I just know that's where she's from because she tell me all the time. I'm just like, all right, cool. What you want from me? Last week in nursing school, then the real studying begins. Yeah. The real studying has began. Actually, the real studying you've already been doing for a very long time. I live by Marcy too. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Who is this? Is it Diamond? So, hey, Diamond. So the real studying you've already been doing. The purpose of your studying now, it's just the consolidation of material, right? So you've already been studying like super hard. If you got all the way through nursing school, it's either you cheated your way through, which I can't hate you if you did because you didn't get caught. No, let me stop. But the studying is relatively going to be the same. It's going to be a more consolidated on the materials that you're going to know. Because remember, when you take this exam, it is not about memorization. No cheating over here. That's what I'm talking about. You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. Just kidding. But it's all about being familiar with the material. I don't expect for you to memorize everything. Don't expect to memorize everything. There are certain things that you do need to memorize, like, your lab values. You need to memorize those. Like, I'm not going to just be like, hey, I have a pH of 7.4. And then here you come. Oh, no. That's out of range. I'm going to be like, yeah, by 1 point. It is. But it's 7.35, 7.45. You have to know those. Those are universal. If you don't know them, you're going to have a problem, right? Your cranial nerves, you need to know what they are, because here's the reason why you need to know what they are is because when they start throwing out nursing processes at you, or if they start throwing out, whatever ailment that a patient has, and if they said that, let's say you had a patient who had a surgery done, a craniotomy, or they had a laminectomy or something else that goes on, and then all of a sudden, they talk about, cranial nerve 9, or your patient is having difficulty swallowing, what is the biggest issue that I have going on? And if I start to, or what do they say? The glossal nerve is affected. They're going to be like, oh, okay, well, it's the glossal nerve that's to do with my tongue. It's around my mouth. Maybe he can't swallow. Maybe that's an airway issue. You see how that chain can kind of go? It's good to memorize your cranial nerves because you have to be able to follow that. You have to be able to follow that trend of from beginning to end. So if I give you a disease process, you need to be able to know what the outcome is going to be. And not only what the outcome is going to be, but what is the nursing management based off of that? Oh, airway. Maybe you should be NPO until we get a doctor here for X, Y, and Z. Okay. So, make sure you're understanding that. Get yourself a good review. And here's the one thing I'll tell people is I don't say buy, like, hey, go buy a review. I say, hey, invest in a review. Don't buy it, invest. Because if you buying something is like buying this Sprite Zero, not sponsored, by the way. So buying something is like buying this Sprite Zero. You're going to consume it, right? But you want to invest in a review because you're going to use it. You're going to use it for its potential, and it's to give you a solid foundation for when you go and you take your NCLEX. So invest in a good review. Currently, I'm working on my review. I know somebody else earlier was asking me, and I was just like, well, my review's not done yet. I'm currently working on my cardiac section right now, but it's going to be up here real soon. And the one thing that you want to do is that you want to be able to solidify all the material that you're going to be learning. Okay. So get yourself a good review. All right. Congratulations on almost being finished with school. I'm telling you right now, listen to me when I tell you, the hardest part is done. Getting through nursing, saying that you want to be a nurse, getting the prerequisites done applying for nursing school, waiting for all that nonsense, getting into nursing school, getting through nursing school, and then graduating. Look, all that mess. The hard part's over. I kid you not. The hard part is over. Now the finish line is right here in front of you. It's either you're going to stop before it or you're going to run through it. And by running through it means you pass, right? So if you know that you're going to be taking your NCLEX, hey, put yourself on a schedule, start grinding, doing everything that you remember. Your license is not going to say your first name, last name, and friends. It's not going to say first and last name and, your wife or your kid, son, or whomever. It's not. It's going to say your name, your first name, your last name, registered nurse with your freaking license number on there. It's not going to your degree is not going to say that either, right? Because there's only one person that got through nursing school. You. There's only one person that's going to sit in that quiet ass room. And it's going to be you and other people. But you know what I mean? It's you specifically taking that freaking exam. Hey, stop playing with me. Smash that like button, all right? So, but yeah. So, you're very welcome. So, we all are over here wishing you the best of luck. Hey, I'm a mentor to everybody. I'm a guide of whatever I can do for anybody. And if I don't got the answers, I will definitely point you in the direction to somebody who has. I'm not about hoarding knowledge. I'm all about giving it out. Because a lot of times that information is free. I will point you down that river to be like, hey, bro, if you're thirsty, there's a river over there. Go ahead and walk yourself over there and scoop you out, some waters. All right. Another thing is, how do you absorb content? And this isn't just for you, Diamond. This is for everybody. This is a general consensus. Hey, shout out to everybody who just jumped in here. We got like 60 people in here. Hey, if you guys have just joined, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse, NCLEX coach for registered nurses and for LPNs. We're talking about study stuff. We were talking about YouTube videos that were super helpful. We were also talking about, really good websites and study material. We were talking about good shoes, talking about all kinds of stuff, right? So if you guys are finding value, make sure you guys smash that like button. Give me all the love. Somebody gave me a rose earlier. I don't know what that means. Last time I saw somebody give me a rose, I was like at a bar and she was like, here's a rose. And then I had to give her $5. I'm like, whatever, bro, I guess. So, but yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you guys just joining us, hey, make sure you guys follow me on all those social media platforms. So YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, of course, here on TikTok. If you know anybody or if you need help with nursing school, NCLEX, if you're a repeat test taker, right here, thebootnurse.com. Somebody asked me, what does the boot nurse stand for? I made a video, my very first cringy ass video on, on YouTube, where I said, welcome to the Boot Nurse channel. So essentially, every nurse in here is a boot. And what that means is that when you join the military, everybody goes to basic training or they go to boot camp. And somebody that goes to boot camp knows nothing about nothing at all. And so you have to train and you have to learn. And it's a consistent learning day-to-day basis every single time. Hey, how are you doing? So everybody is a boot. And so when I became a nurse, I became a boot nurse. I remember I used to have nurses, brand new nurses that would come in when I was, I had been in the Navy for about 8 years or so. And I used to call them a boot because they've never been on a deployment before. So it's a new thing. I'm not going to tell you how to be a med-surg nurse, but you're not going to tell me how to come out here and how to do a deployment. So we used to call them boot nurses. And so it stuck with me for years. And so I'm a boot nurse because you're always consistently learning daily, day in, day out. Doesn't matter what it's about. You're always going to learn something new. And especially if you leave your area, you're going to go to another area. Let's say you leave oncology and you decide to go to pediatrics. That's a whole different world. Or if you leave the OR and you go to labor and delivery, totally different world. So you're always consistently learning. Even if you left the hospital and you wanted to go work for a medical devices company, you got to learn all that, all that stuff. So that's where the term boot nurse came from. I'm a boot nurse. I'm a boot. You're a boot. Everybody's a boot. I got boots. They're dirty and they're somewhere over there with my uniform. So there's that. So what else y'all want to talk about? Y'all let me know where y'all from. Somebody told me a few people told me they were from Nebraska up in here. Some other folks told me they were from Marcy Projects. I'm just playing. She told me she was from Brooklyn. I'm from Texas. I'm originally from Killeen, Texas. If y'all know anything about Killeen and why it ended up on the map not too long ago, is because of Vanessa Gillian, that whole thing at Fort Hood. That is from where I am from, and it's a really sad story. We're not going to get into that. So, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yeah, you already knew that was coming. California, where in California are you from? I lived in San Diego for about a year when I was going to search tech school. Oh, you from Brooklyn too? Hey, you from Marcy Projects? Hey, y'all over here taking it over. From Florida. I used to live in Florida. I lived in Jacksonville for about 4 years. Never do I ever want to go back to that state. Wait a minute. You're from Florida? Hold up. Let me go back. Hey, so everybody knows what's been going on in Florida, right? You know, like hashtag the fake nurses. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you're fake. I ain't saying you're a fake person. What's your name? Roman G.I. Glick. Like the Glicky? So anyways, I started blasting. Let me stop. But yeah. Hey, shout out to you for being from Florida. Future nurse. Hey, shout out to you. L.A. Oh, okay. You from L.A.? I went to Highland Park completely by accident one time. So, oops. Never will that happen again. I don't know nothing else about California except for the fact that I was in San Diego for a year. I like San Diego. I like California. It was nice. It's just, you know, my pockets and the way that my bank account is set up, it don't like California too much. So I'm just saying that. H-Town, that's what I'm talking about. You right down the street. Hessies are tough herd, harder than NCLEX. I used the Hessie when I was in school. I didn't like the Hessie at all. And yeah, those reviews that are out there, or those testers that are out there, they're meant to be harder than the NCLEX. It's kind of like when you go to practice. You practice hard. You practice way more in practice. That way, when you get to the game, you know, it just, you know, you show out and it's a little bit easier. So I would not, I don't disagree with you, but I hated every bit of Hessie. I kid you not, when I was in nursing school, I didn't pass not one, like I did really great on every other test, but when I took a Hessie, it would drop my test by like 10 points. I swear, in every class, except for fundamentals, I had like 95s and above. So I was a pretty good student. But when it came to the Hessies, it was just like, man, I'm just not getting it. And then next thing you know, boom, I go from like a 95 to like an 87. And I'm just like, bro, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me, Hessie gods, like, or school, or whatever the hell you are? So, yeah. Wasn't a fan. Wasn't a fan of Hessie at all. So, some people love it, some people don't. So, you live in Jacksonville too? Oh, you're on your son's page. Hey, I'm gonna need for you to get your own page, man. I'm gonna need for you to get off Roman Glick's page and get your own. They need to check Cali nurses too. Hey, you know what? This whole, especially with COVID happening, you know, from 2020 till now, these fake nurses are like they're coming up everywhere. Like, if you guys read the report, you know, Operation Nightingale, which is what to me is just perfect, right? Just the fact that they even did that is great. Like 7,600 nurses, or 7,600 people, and then like half of them passed the NCLEX. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm a whole real nurse, and it took me 4 fucking times to pass that exam. I'm like, whatever, bro. Whatever. So, but yeah, they really do need to be out here checking these nurses. Like, definitely. Speaking of that, I actually had a nurse that when I was in nursing school, because it actually dates back when they started this investigation, the Operation Nightingale, from like 2016 to 2021. And in 2017, when I was in clinicals, I was in the ICU, and we were looking at a patient's chart, and no lie, the guy was whoever the nurse was. He typed in the notes, like when they do their rounds or whatever. He said, patient has H4, and I was like, H4? I can't make this shit up either. Patient has H4. Like, what is H4? And then I'm over here looking at it. I'm talking to the nurse. I'm like, hey, what is H4? She's like, what? I'm like, I'm not that stupid. I'm like, I'm stupid, but I ain't this stupid. What is H4? And she was like, I don't know. And then we called like the charge nurse over there, and they was just like, what is H4? We don't know. So we had to call him, and we called him, and he was just like, yeah, you don't know what H4 is? We're like, no, it was just like, you know, the disease, you know, that he has AIDS. And we were like, hold up. You typed the letter H and the actual number 4. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you mean HIV? And he was just like, yeah, H4. And I'm just like, no. Like, there's this guy that's on TikTok, and he's just like, stop. That's exactly what I didn't do it then, but I was just like, if this motherfucker can be a nurse, anybody can be a nurse. But if I only knew what I knew now, that fool probably ain't a nurse. So thank you for my TED Talk and listening to my story. No, Ebbett Field in Brooklyn, another landmark in Brooklyn. You know what? I actually do. My grandma lives in New York City. She lives in Manhattan. Well, she lives in Harlem. She lives off of 145th Street. So I need to come back up there and do a tour. I haven't been to New York since 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019, so before COVID. Yeah, it wasn't in Jacksonville. Thank God, right? What about UWorld? What you want to know about UWorld? I personally don't like... Okay. So I've said this on numerous platforms. I have no beef with UWorld at all whatsoever. I've used them. I've paid for them on 2 or 3 occasions, $189 a pop. And if you're a person who is okay with content, like if you're a person who's okay with your content, and all you need is a QBank, UWorld is perfect. But the majority of people, they want, I guess you could say, overkill. And I'm one of those people. I was just like, hey, yo, give me everything and then let me determine what I feel I need, right? So I like stuff with content. I love videos. I love questions. I love answers. I love more content. I want more of the knowledge, right? So if you're a person that's really good at content and all you need is a QBank, cool, get your UWorld. But if not, I would suggest getting something that will give you more. So that's why I like Archer, because one, Archer is like $100 cheaper and you get NCLEX style questions and you get videos. So there's that for now, until I start popping on here and I start doing stuff, and then y'all better go invest in my stuff. Notice I said invest. We don't buy around here. We invest in ourselves, right? Now it's the ATI exam. I took it today. Well, how'd you do? How'd you do on your ATI exam? Sad about all prerequisites. Scoring 92% on T's, only 2 to be told. Need CNA to enter program, not giving. Yeah, don't give up. We don't give up around here. We're all about words of affirmation. Not only are we all about words of affirmation, we're all about speaking things into existence. Like when I was not doing well, I always had a piece of paper I had pieces of paper, posted up everywhere, anywhere that you could think of. Anywhere that you could think of. Like if it was like on my door, on my wall, my garage door, on my steering wheel, in the bathroom, on the bathroom door, everywhere. On the fridge, it said, I will pass NCLEX, or it says, I will be a nurse. And then I would answer myself. I would be like, damn right I will. And I walk out. And I did that same exact thing when I took my exam. I sat there in the parking lot, and then I had that piece of paper that says, you will pass NCLEX. And I was just like, damn right I will. Got out the car, or got out the truck, did whatever I needed to do, right? So, don't give up. Speak it into existence, right? You are the creator of your universe, right? Create nothing but positivity around there. Brooklyn Bushwick. Is that near Marcy Project? I really got to stop referring to everything as Marcy Project, because I watch way too much Chappelle Show, and I think Jay-Z is from Marcy Project. So I just assumed it's like Brooklyn. Woo woo. Let me stop. I don't mean no disrespect. Y'all know I'm just playing. Hey, if y'all are just now joining me, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. We're talking about study tips. If you guys need NCLEX coaching or anything like that, check out thebootnurse.com. I do coaching over there. Working on an NCLEX review right now. Hopefully that'll be out here within the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys are out there starting investing in yourselves. We went over YouTube videos. If you guys know anything that could help nurses, drop them down in the comments. So videos, material, if it's free stuff, whatever, drop it in there, right? Make sure you guys are smashing that like button, right? I need damn, bro, I got 4,000 likes. Hey, y'all love me, huh? And make sure, because you're essential. I'm essential with the best SpongeBob. Like, this just still makes me laugh, yo. I just can't get over it. So anyways, but yeah, the nurses are not being charged either. So here's something else I want to talk about in regards to that. So a lot of the nurses that did go to those schools that were not accredited, or they were going through their accreditation, they actually went through their program. Then they took their exam, then they passed. So that's actually a good majority of them, but they can't tell who did what. So let's just say, for example, I went through the school, I went through the 2 years of the program, it wasn't accredited, I went through everything, took my exam, boom, Done. Versus you come along and you're just like, hey, I got 15 grand. Let me go ahead and get that degree. They give it to you. You go take your exam. You pass. Not the same. However, everybody's being lumped into one category. And so a lot of these people aren't being charged, or a lot of these people are fighting it because they're like, nah, fuck that. I went through a program. Y'all ain't, they're like, you're not about to get me. And that's one thing I will always tell you. If y'all don't know it right now, y'all need to make sure if you're going to go to nursing school that you go to an accredited school. And if it's going through an accreditation, no, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Because now you're gonna end up like a Florida nurse. Let me stop saying Florida nurse. You're gonna end up like the fake nurses. All right. Hey, shout out to Florida. I'll never live there again, but shout out to you. Yeah, there's actually a lady in Virginia who was one of them, and she had been working for a nurse for she had been working as a nurse for almost 5 years. And the employer, or they had found out that she was one of those fake nurses, and they took her to court. She was found guilty. She got sentenced to like 4 years in prison or some shit like that. And she has to pay back wages, which is like $700,000. At that point, just throw me in jail. I'm just saying. I'm on my fourth attempt. Please help. Hey, who is that? Nurse IJ88. Go up here. Go there. You're on your fourth attempt. Hey, that was me. That was me when I passed on my fourth time. That was me. Nurse IJ. Is it like nurse I'm just saying 88? There's no S there. Whatever. You know what I mean. But anyways, if you need help, hey, check it out. Check out the website because I give coaching all the time. Okay, cool. I passed. Go back. I don't know what just happened. I don't know what I just did. I passed everything except the reading. Time ran out. ATI and HESI exams are the worst. Hey, they really are the worst. They're really terrible. So that must have been was that your entrance exam? Phases of the moon. I just call you Moon, like that one lady. You know Moon. Y'all know what I'm talking about on Moon. Y'all know the Moon I'm talking about on freaking Instagram. She's like, Tico, you don't like your life. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Do you know anything about international students taking the nursing programs in the United States? So international students, usually there's an agreement that the international students have, like their schools have, like with the United. So like if you're like in the Philippines or in Africa or like in Europe somewhere, and you want and if you're trying to be a nurse in the United States, you go through their school there, and then you take the NCLEX when you get here. Or the full plan is you'll take the NCLEX over there, but it has to be equivalent to the United States, or it has to be the United States NCLEX. Because if I remember correctly, individuals that go to the Philippines, they'll take their NCLEX over there, but the NCLEX over there is not. It's the same program, but it's not the same. The exams are the same. I mean, the exams are different. I'm sorry. So they'll work in the Philippines for like 2 or 3 years, come over here, and then have to take the NCLEX in the United States. So I'm assuming it's the same for international nurses everywhere. I know Africa is a very, very big portion of that as well. So like Nigeria, Ghana, all that good stuff. However, they allowed me to reschedule it. Wait, hold on. What'd you do? Oh, they allowed for you to reschedule it 2 weeks from today so you can retake the reading. Well, that's good. That's good that they let you do that. Sorry, I'm kind of catching up on these now. Exactly. That's why they're not being charged. Yep, exactly. Great job. Okay, that's somebody else telling me. TikTok telling me to take a break. Let me get out of my face. I wonder why they're penalizing people who paid for those fake licenses. You wonder, are they? So I want to say Georgia was one of them who said like, hey, they had a list of like 120 or 150 people or something like that. That said like, hey, turn in your licenses and there won't be no repercussions. I'm like, nah, that's a good way to just get set up. Just don't go to work. Just don't go to work. Don't do that. Don't go there. They're going to arrest you when you go there. What the hell you think this is? Absolutely knew what they were doing. I was approached when I was doing vaccinations in 2020. Stop. So you mean to tell me they said somebody walked up to you and was just like, hey, you want to get your nursing license? Here, just pay me this money. I can't imagine paying out-of-state fees only to find out the school wasn't accredited. Yeah, you're gonna faint because you gotta think about all that money. Me, I'm a big proponent on time. I can get back money. Money is the most replenishable thing on this planet, but I cannot get back my time. Once this live is over, another live will be like it because they'll be better. But they'll never be like you can't get your time back. But I mean, in the retrospect of money, paying 15 grand and they're just be like, "Ha, gotcha, bitch!" Like I'm at like that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on my second attempt. Any help? Hey, if you need help on the NCLEX or anything like that, go check out my website, thebootnurse.com. I offer nurse coaching for NCLEX. Hey, it's your second attempt. Hey, how's the old saying? It's delayed, never denied, right? So it's just a delay. That's all it is. Entrance exam for Helene Fold. I don't know what that means. What's that mean? Helene Fold. Not all nurses is a fake nurse. No, I agree. I know not all nurses are fake nurses. That's just me messing around because when that whole thing happened, you know, like every nurse had to come out in the woodwork and be like, "Hey, bro, I got that degree. Hey, bro, I got this. Hey, bro, I got that." I mean, I got my degree sitting right there, and I'm, you know, all in good fun. Not saying everybody out here is a fake nurse. That's just like I walk around because for those that don't know, I've been in the Navy for almost 16 years. And so sometimes when I go to work or if I go on my Instagram, if you go on my Instagram, I think I had one of those, I was in my uniform and I had all my ribbons or whatever on and I put hashtag stolen valor because people are going to come out there and be like, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" I'm going to be like, "Hey, if you don't get out my face right now." So, you know, all in good fun, all in jokes. I don't know if that is English, which I'm pretty sure it's not, but you're laughing. So I'm going to laugh with you. Entrance exam for, Helen Full College. Got you. My time ran out, however, I know I will be. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, hey, yes, ma'am. Yes, you will. You will be a nurse. I see Kingans here. You are so helpful. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, we're all about love. We're all about the love. We're all about the diversity. We're all about the positivity. No negativity here. All right. If you're going to be negative, hey, go ahead and get your ass out. Right. So I was like, or you'll get blocked. One of the two. That's how they did it. I'm already at LPN and I'm working at a site and a nurse walked up to me and wow, that's crazy. Told me she was going to give me her friend's number and it's $20,000 to get my RN license. That's crazy. That's just like saying, "Hey, you want the answers to the NCLEX? Call this number on WhatsApp." Bro, you got the audacity. Why? Why are y'all like this? So will they be able to go through nursing school to get a real license? You know, that's a good question because I'm pretty sure if these people that, you know, that did it the wrong way, I'm pretty sure that these people, like, they're going to be done. Like, there's no way. And here's the thing. If you saw somebody who could pay their way to a license, when you went through the prereqs, you went through the heartaches of trying to get into school, you went through the heartaches of going to school, then you went through the heartache of passing your license or graduating and then passing and then getting your license. I mean, in reality, would you really want to work with somebody like that? I'm telling you right now, ain't no way. Like, especially with the struggle that I've been through, I'm going to be like, "Bro, you just paid $20,000 just to get here? Hey, get out my face." Like, I'm gonna really feel some type of way. And I'm pretty sure everybody else will too. And then, I was told that they were gonna, what does it say? Gonna talk in code over the phone. I didn't feel comfortable. Well, I'm glad that you didn't do that because they would have really scammed you out of freaking $20,000. And that's pitiful. I didn't accept the offer. Thank God. Everything. Yes, ma'am. It sure will. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. I appreciate that. Nova X. Hey, don't nobody care. Nobody care about your damn YouTube. Hey, everybody go to his YouTube. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyways, I'm a nurse in Florida for 24 years. Hey, shout out to you. Hey, seriously, shout out to you. 24 years. I don't even know. how I've lasted so long in the Navy. I mean, like 24 years, man. That's like a quarter of your life, kind of. So, a real nurse, yes, ma'am. Their license was annulled. I'm not sure. I understand what that means. Pretty sure. Oh, they just took it away. That's all that means. So, I know, but you know what? Everything happened. Yeah, that's exactly what will happen. Everything that happens in the dark like that shall come to light. So yeah, we got a couple of things that were on here. Talking Talking about time, like we said, talking about time management, accountability. What else you guys want to know? What else you guys want to know? I've been on here since about 7:45. I got on here about 7, then I got off and I got back on. And so I'll probably stay on here. Like I said, I live in Texas. It's 9:22 right now. I got to go to work in the morning. But I'm sorry, I don't got to go to work tomorrow. I have to go to my job tomorrow. That's what we say. Oh, you know what? Hey, let's talk about other things that you can do as a nurse. So remember, your license is real versatile. You know what I'm saying? Like you are the CEO of your own license, right? I've heard so many people say that. But you're the CEO. So did you guys know that you can actually go and work for what they call a medical devices company? And a medical devices company is essentially those everyday things that we use in a hospital or clinic. And there are companies that are out there that make them. And those companies love to have RNs or LPNs working for them. Main reason is because you're the person that uses them every day. So I'll give you an example. Here's on my Instagram, I put a couple of medical devices companies that are out there that you could work for as a registered nurse. Or hell, you don't even have to be a registered nurse to work there, but you could still work there. So one company is Medline, and if you look at if you guys ever go into a hospital, look at everything that's there. So Medline is one company. They make all the consumables. They make the gloves. They make like the peel packs that have like the sterilized instruments in it. You know, they make all different kinds of stuff. So you can actually go to their website and then look at whatever career opportunities that they have. Easy. Another one, 3M, the number 3 and the letter M. 3M is a medical devices company. They make all different types of equipment. I know for a fact that 3M came up when I worked in the ICU. They were like one guy who was an ICU nurse for a while, for like I think 10 years. He got a job working for Medline, and he literally came up there and gave us an in-service on how to use the condom caths. So it's exactly what you think it is. It's a condom that goes over the penis, and instead of it having to be invasive like an indwelling catheter. So lowers the infection rate, so on and so forth, right? And took him all of 10 minutes, and then he left. We were just like, whoa, that's it? He's like, yeah, that's it. And I was just like, how do you love your job? He's like, I love this job and I'll never go back bedside. And I'm just like, I need to figure out how to do that. So that we got Medline, we got 3M, another one, Stryker. Stryker, mostly Stryker does everything, but I work in the operating room, so I see Stryker using mostly their equipment that's mostly done that I see with orthopedic surgery. So knee replacements, hip replacements, and they use different types of drills and machines. They make the suction machines, all different types of stuff like that. So, you know, you got Stryker. They have other ones like MyTech. They have Intuitive. Intuitive makes the Da Vinci robots. If you guys ever see like the Da Vinci robot, they have like 4 little hands or whatever. I specialize and I work in the Da Vinci robots. So they're one of the reps that works with us, not even a nurse. I think she has a degree in biology, but you don't even need a degree or anything like that. Like you could be a rep working in sales or working in the operating room. Like it's crazy. Like it's so crazy out here. So yeah, medical devices company. So if you're one of those people who used to work in sales and wants to go work at a medical devices company, you can be a representative, a sales representative, and work your way up through the company like that. They always need nurses. Always. Check that out. How to retain so much information when studying for the NCLEX. So it's all about being familiar. It's just, you just practice every day. Until when you see it, you're going to be like, man, that looks familiar, right? And then it's just like those little, like remembering, not those little tricks, but just the little sayings, you know, like what type of patient do I see first? Do I want to see a patient that is acute, or do I want to see somebody who has a chronic issue? Do I want to see somebody who's unstable, or do I want to see somebody who is stable, right? Like what position, or I'm sorry, what issue do I want to check first? Do I want to check somebody who has an airway, a breathing, or a circulation problem? Does hemorrhaging And by hemorrhage, I mean massive hemorrhage. Like if they're bleeding from the femoral artery, like, arterial bleeding versus, venous bleeding, right? Which one takes more priority? Which one would you die from first? Would you bleed out first, or would it be an airway issue? Probably want to stop the bleed first. So it's all about just making yourself familiar in order to retain it, because after a while, like you'll be like, oh, that looks familiar, and I know how to answer it. Okay, so honestly, it's just practicing, doing the content, doing the questions. Once you finish all the content and the questions, do them all over again. Once you finish all the contents and questions again, do them all over again until it's time to take your exam. Just like that. So hard not to I'm guessing you mean beat. So hard not to beat yourself up whenever I forget something when I review a topic. Well, if you forget something, write that down and then spend an additional 15 to 30 minutes researching that information. Nothing too bad. Don't beat yourself up, because you don't know what you don't know. You're not expected to know everything. The exam doesn't expect for you to know everything. Like, I don't expect for you to not know something. And the exam is, rather than kind of hone in on what you don't know, focus on the other things that you do know. Because, everybody needs to know what ventricular fibrillation looks like, right? However, not everybody is going to know what second degree type 2 Mobitz looks like. You know what I mean? Even though they'll ask you that question on NCLEX, a lot of people will be like, damn, like I totally don't know what that looks like. Okay, well, what does VTAC look like? What does VFib look like? What does AFib look like? What does A-flutter look like? You know what those look like. Because those are the heavy hitter. Those are the ones that they'll ask you on the exam. If you're doing well on the exam and they start asking you about, second degree type 2 Mobitz, you're going to be like, I guess I'm doing okay, right? So how much do they pay an hour for RNs? It depends. It depends on where you live. I actually made a video on my YouTube talking about my first nursing paycheck. Y'all should go check it out. It actually took me a while to make that video, and I laughed a lot when I was editing it. So definitely check it out. It's definitely out there. But it all just depends on where you live. Nurses in California, I think, probably get paid the highest, probably because the cost of living is through the roof. So is nursing school hard? I've been thinking about going to school for RN. Yes, nursing school is hard. It's not. And if it tells you that they're easy, they're a psychopath. I said that earlier. They're a psychopath. So nursing school is hard. However, it's not like you can't accomplish it. Who is that? Sarah Love. It's not like you can't accomplish it. It's very accomplishable. Everyone else has done it. I've done it. A bunch of people in this room have done it. So you can do it as well. All right. Yeah, no problem. You're very welcome. How long is an RN course at a community college? Some RN courses could be a year. Some are 2 years. Some people take their prerequisites before they even get into an RN program. Before they get into an RN program at a community college, and they could do it in less than a year. It all just depends. But I want to say that the minimum of RN school at a community college is like a year. So, who is that? Black Widow. Excuse my manners. Hello, I'm new. Thanks for. Yeah, not a problem. No, you're fine. Hey, for everybody that just joined, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. I'm an NCLEX coach. Talking about NCLEX stuff, study tips. We went over YouTube channels again. I can go over a couple more YouTube channels again if you guys want me to. If you guys know anything that is super helpful for nurses, nursing students, or anybody taking their NCLEX, drop them down there. All right, drop them in the comments. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know where y'all are at in your NCLEX journey. Make sure y'all smash that like button, because y'all like me. Like, don't pity me, like me, and by liking me, by hitting that button. What y'all think this is? Stop playing with me. No, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, this is the longest live I think I've done, and this is probably the most consistent amount of people I've had in here, so I appreciate it. Like I said, if you guys are finding value, smash that button. If you guys know anybody that needs help, check out thebootnurse.com. I do coaching over there. I won't be doing no coaching next week because I'll be at Disney World. So there's that. Yes, that's what I'm doing now. Good. I just need what the nurses got in Florida. What? You need what you need. I just need what the nurses got in Florida. I don't know. I don't know what they got. Hopefully Hopefully, for some of it ain't no nursing license. My prerequisites doing good. Okay, good. Free pass. What? Detroit, Michigan. Here, getting ready for my PN. Hey, congratulations to you! Like you're about to take your NCLEX PN. Good for you. Good for you. I have a buddy he said he was from Detroit. He's like from Camden. Is it Camden? I don't know how close that is to Detroit. So I used to he was like, yo, I'm from Detroit. And I'm like, you're from the suburbs. You're like from Deerwood. I don't know what is that where like rich people live? Is in Deerwood? I don't know. I'm just talking shit now. but yeah. So I took my prerequisites for a year and a half. And for the RN program, it took me 2 years. Yeah, so when I started my nursing journey, I started it in 2013 when I came back from Afghanistan. And so from 2013 all the way to 2016 were my prerequisites. I went from Florida to Texas. I had a couple of breaks in between there and then did all my prerequisites all the way to the end of 2016. Started nursing school January of 2017. And then I graduated August of 2018. So the program was a year and a half. There's another program in Texas with UT in Arlington. Theirs is a 15-month program for BSN. And then you have Texas Tech, guns up. Anyway, so I started blasting. I really got to stop watching Always Sunny. Hey, y'all watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia? That dude's funny. But Danny DeVito. But there's another Texas Tech. They have a 12-month BSN program. Like from January 1st to December 31. And it's hard. It's a long, it's so much information. Like it is sensory overload, like at its finest. So, who is it? Is that Cheryl Ferris? Are you asking me, am I a new nurse? Why not just buy the book? I did, and I passed the board because everybody learns different. Not everybody is you. Not everybody can just buy a book and just read it. You put a book in front of me, I'm going to fall asleep. So not everybody can just buy a book, study for the NCLEX, and just, pass willy-nilly. Everybody learns different. You have people that are auditory, that are visual, that are kinesthetic, that are read-write. It all just depends. So, that was a statement. No, well, I guess, I've been a nurse for almost 3 years. Is it Cheryl Ferris? I've been a nurse for almost 3 years, so still a novice nurse? I know there's like a year time period up in there. I'm not sure. So, hi, do you recommend any ADN or BSN online programs? Well, there's a bunch of them out there. Like I said, I live in Texas, and I know 2 online programs right off the top of my head. The first one, Texas A&M in Corpus Christi. They have what is called an E-line military program that, they have an E-line military program to where you do all of nursing school online 100%, except for your clinicals. All your clinicals are done with a clinical group at the local level 1 trauma facility. And like when I did that program, I went down there, I think a total of 4 times. It was at the beginning for orientation, checkoffs to make sure that you know how to do medical administration, IM medications, all that good jazz. And then I went down there for clinicals one time. And then I went down there the last time for the pinning ceremony and for graduation. UT Arlington is another one. They have an online BSN program that's 15 months. The one in Corpus Christi was 18 months. So, and they essentially do the same exact thing. Everything is online except for clinicals. And I did all my clinicals on the weekend. There were some times where I had to do them during the week, and I took requested days off of my job in order for me to take care of those. But it was really flexible. And since I was in the military, they were even more flexible. I'll be like, hey, I have duty this day, or I have these military obligations. Can I schedule it a different day? Most of the time they were cool. Sometimes they weren't, because nursing school sucks. But it is what it is at that point. So. I think Western Governors University is another one, I believe, for an RN program. There is There's a couple of, if you really want to know some really good ones, go to your state's Board of Nursing and look under the schools that they have, and they'll be able to tell you. And as a matter of fact, if you go to your state's Board of Nursing website, it'll tell you what schools are accredited, and it'll tell you what schools are still awaiting their accreditation as well. So I went to UT in Texas, Texas, Houston for undergrad, great school, Texas Women's for masters. That's awesome. I actually was going to go to UT in Austin, but they was playing too many games. You got to go here and do Longhorn hours. Hey, look, I'm a Longhorn through and through. I got a flag right here, but let me tell you something right now. I ain't about doing all that nonsense. Because guess what? Nobody cares what school you went to. They just want to know you got that license so they could put that ass to work. So there's that. Did you leave the Army, or are you a nurse in the Army? So, Black Widow, I am not in the Army. I'm in the Navy. I am currently enlisted in the Navy. I've been enlisted since 2007. I don't look it, though. But I do got old man eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I have been in the Navy for 15 years, and I've been enlisted. Currently, I'm awaiting a commissioning package. So hopefully here within the next 2 months, I'll be commissioned as a Nurse Corps officer in the Navy. So hope that answers your question. Shout out to everybody that's in here. If you guys are just joining me, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 3 years. I am an NCLEX coach and mentor. I have been a teacher / educator since 2015. I've taught in many different programs and many different courses, to include surgical technology. I taught that for about 3.5 years. I taught a course called the Tactical Combat Casualty course. That is now a Department of Defense mandate that every service member in the military has to take that course. I have taught pre-hospital trauma life support. I'm also an instructor for the Trauma Nursing Core course. So I've been a teacher, and I've been teaching for a long time. So teaching is what I love. I never, ever, ever thought that I would be that type of person that loves to sit and teach, but I am definitely one of those people that loves to sit and teach. So if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, moans, groans, needs help with studying for NCLEX and needs mentorship and coaching, check out thebootnurse.com. You guys should be, if you guys decide to go over there and invest in that, you will see that I have nothing open for next week because I'm going to Disney World with my children. So there's that. Oh, wow, that's dope. Thank you for your service. Stay safe. Wish you the best. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. The support is always welcome and it's always loved. So thank you so much for that. But I'm at the downward slope now. I'm at the downward slope. Like, I'm in my 30s now. I'm in my mid 30s, but I feel like I'm in my 50s. Like, my knees hurt, my back hurt. Everything hurts. Ice down everything. Like Kobe did. RIP to the Mamba, right? Like Kobe did, putting them ice packs on them knees. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So a couple of things I do want to talk about for those that are studying for the NCLEX, or even if you're studying for just about anything. Like I said, put yourself on a strict schedule. Print yourself out. Print yourself out a Google Calendar, a blank one, and post it on the wall, and then write what you want to do on there every day. So for example, today is Wednesday. So let's just say you're going to start studying tomorrow. Tomorrow, you need to put on there content. And if you want to, you can get even more specific and put the type of content that you want to learn. So if you want to learn pharmacology, or if you want to look at, pediatrics, or if you want to look at diabetes, put that there. Then the next day, do quiz. Or do a quiz, and your quiz needs to be at least 75 to 150 questions. Why do I say that? Pretty cut and dry. 75 questions. That's the minimum that the NCLEX will ask you. 150 questions, even though that's not the maximum, because the maximum is 145 questions, it makes sense to do 150, so that's because that's 2 75-question quizzes back to back. Okay? Now, once you do your quiz and after you finish, take a break. Go away. Go walk your dog. Go do cartwheels in your garage. Whatever you want to do, go get away from the computer. Give yourself optimal breaks, because remember, your brain is a machine, and you have to give this machine a break. That's why we go to sleep, believe it or not, right? Side note, there's a really good book out there called Why We Sleep. And the author flat out says if you fall asleep while you're listening to his book, it makes him happy. It does not offend him. So if you want to know a good reason, or if you want to have better sleep therapy, all that good stuff, it's a really good book when you pay attention to it and you don't fall asleep. So there's that. So 75 questions. When you do your questions, break and then come back and then read and review your questions. That right there is the intricate part of the of studying. It's, yeah, you're getting your content, yeah, you're getting your questions, but are you seeing if you retain that information when you applied it to your questions? Let's see, did I get it right? Okay, cool, I got it right. Why did I get it right? All right, cool, I understand that. Let me take a little note in case I want to try to remember something from this. Let me move on to the next one. Oh, I got it wrong. Why did I get it wrong? Pause. Now I can go and do a little bit more research to see why I got it wrong. Oh, okay, so it was asking me this. Did I misunderstand the question? Did I not understand the content? Did the answers throw me off? Did I read the question all the way? Did I not read the question all the way? Did I stare off into space? Did I start to second guess myself? All that, right? So remember, you have to read and review all of your exams, even if you got the question right. I'm very, 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 very serious about that. See, now I'm starting to get hype. I think this is the first time I said this, but now I'm starting to get hype. When y'all see me start to do this right here, I'm like, yo, we about it. We about making this right now, right? So you have to study. You have to study your content. Put yourself on a schedule. You have to do your Q&A, and you must. It is mandatory. You have to read and review all of your questions, okay? Hey, shout out to Chicago. You're Mike Love from Chicago. Hey, I was about to say Chirac, but I don't know if that's disrespectful. I done already said it. So is that disrespectful? I'm sorry if it is, because I know it should be rough up there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you being from Chicago. All right. Let's see what else. We talked about accountability. And of course, like I said, set aside that time for mental breaks, all right? It's a tactic. Like you have to get yourself in the mind frame of studying for this exam. When I was studying, I barely talked to anybody, period. Barely talked to anybody about anything. If I talked to them, it was here and there, but it's like I was focused on this computer every single time. So every single time. Hey, I'm from Cali, RN MSN. Hey, shout out to you. Where you live at in Cali? I used to live in San Diego. I lived there for about a year. So Cali's nice. But my pockets don't like Cali, so West Coast really be burning a hole in your pocket, let me tell you. So my brother's a doctor in the Navy, worked at the White House and went to Georgetown. So was your brother probably was a part of the presidential medical team, which is cool. That's an honor to be a part of. It's very, very, very hard to get into. I actually applied for it a long time ago as a surgical tech, but they didn't need surgical tech, even though they do have surgical teams. And those are opportunities only for active duty personnel in all branches of the service. So I actually have one of my mentors who is an OR nurse. He retired 30 years active duty, and he was actually part of the presidential medical team twice. So I believe he was part of the presidential medical team for President Obama and for President Trump. So it's definitely a doable thing, and you won't be able to do it nowhere else. Definitely won't be able to do it nowhere else. So that medical school is no joke. Hey, I bet it ain't. I had a buddy. He went to medical school, went for sports medicine. I think he went to NYU, and I think he may live in like Washington State now. I'm not sure, but he's saying that medical school is no joke. I work with medical students all the time in the operating room, and they're very, very nice, and they're very, very willing to learn. So that's why I said everybody is a boot, because we all are out here to learn every single day, and it's a continued strive to continue learning, right? So San Francisco, I've never been to San Francisco. I have a friend who's from San Francisco. That's all she talks about. So yeah, I guess I just know that it's expensive. Silicon Valley is there. The 49ers. Christian McCaffrey is there. So, a shout out to you from being from San Francisco. Sometimes I don't feel like studying. Look, let me tell you, every day I didn't feel like studying. And then there were those days that I didn't study. Oh, that's another thing. On that calendar, actually write break. Put break day. Actually write break day on there. And here's why I say that. Like I said, your brain is a machine. Period. Put break day on there. One thing I will say, adding to that, never, ever, ever take more than 2 days off. Because if you start to take 2 days off, everything that you've learned the week prior or the weeks prior like it starts to just, you start to just lose all that data that you acquired. Nursing money is great up here. Oh, I bet it is. I bet it is. We all can't be you balling out of control out in San Francisco. It's funny. I got 2 emails and a phone call today asking me if I wanted to travel. One of them was San Francisco. Another one was Oregon, and another one I think was in Boston. And I'm an OR nurse, so I guess the rates up in Boston are really high, like $5,000 a week. And I was just like, no, I'm not interested right now. Mostly is because this right here that I'm doing is about to be a full-time thing for me. So I love doing this, but don't get me wrong, $5,000 a week sounds pretty nice. But I enjoy doing this portion where I'm teaching, coaching, and trying to reach people and, trying to create value for other people because I never want anyone to feel how I felt. All right. Thank you for doing this. Absolutely. I love doing these. This is actually, I'm going to start doing them like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If I could do them every day, I could, but I got a job and then I'm on call and then, don't want to kind of mess that up. And then your boy got to sleep. You know what I mean? So I love doing this. I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. If you guys are just joining, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. I'm a nurse, NCLEX coach. We're talking about study tips. If anybody needs help on NCLEX, mentorship, coaching, or anything in that regard, check out thebootnurse.com. That's my website. You'll see my glorious and amazing face in my military uniform. Just know that I'm essential with my favorite SpongeBob meme right there. So, like I said, we were talking study tips, all different things to kind of help you out on the NCLEX. And also make sure you guys smash that like button and give me all that love. Give me all that love. I appreciate it. It helps for the algorithm. It helps me reach other people. And I'm actually going to start doing polls. Once I start to really, really understand TikTok Live more, I'm going to start doing them on Instagram. I'm going to start doing lives on Facebook. I'm going to try to hit all these audiences. And I'm going to do a poll. Like, we could do a lesson. I could do a lesson. Like, I just got finished doing my endocrine system. So, talk about diabetes, insipidus, and SIADH, those really, really, really good topics that you guys need to know. We could talk about pharmacology, talk about cardiac meds, we talk about cardiac arrhythmias, or talk about cardiac dysrhythmias. One of the biggest things for me that I had the hardest time with in nursing school, and even when I started working in the ICU, was reading EKGs. They are hard to read, but if you stare at them long enough, you will know that it ain't right. You will know what tombstones mean. You will know what, the sawtooth, EKGs look like. You'll know what AFib looks like. You'll know what VTAC. Trust me, you and everyone on that floor will know what VFib looks like. Okay. So, I've been working on those. So if you guys want to start doing lessons, we could do lessons at the beginning of when I do a TikTok live, and then we could just do Q&A and study tips and all kinds of stuff. Whatever y'all want. I am here for y'all. All right. He works in the situation room. He worked in the situation room with Obama. Hey, I'm just trying to say, it's like some people just don't realize it's just like, where people have been. So I'm pretty sure your brother has really seen some stuff, understanding, being a part of Obama's medical team. New grads make $89 an hour. Where? Oh, in San Francisco? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. But then again, a 1-bedroom apartment costs $6,000 a month. I'm just playing. I'm not playing. It's expensive as hell there. So E40. Talking about, E40 from Detroit? Oh, okay. Yeah, just got one 2 days ago. What'd you just get 2 days ago? I missed it. What'd I say? What did I say? You just got to the Bay 2 days ago? Oh, you got an EKG 2 days ago. Got you. Hey, stare at them long enough, man. Stare at them long enough, and then you'll just be like, okay, I know what that is. Hell, there's some of those cardiologists, like some of the cardiologists that I work with, they're just like, oh, that's this. And I'm just like, how? Like, how can you even see that from like 20 feet away? You can't, you don't know? I'm just like, no, help me. So, but, yeah. So like I said, I really, really do enjoy doing this teaching stuff. It really does make me feel good. It really does, it helps me get all that information out to y'all. I know I did start to drop a couple of things on here about different jobs that you can have as a nurse. There's, we were talking about the medical devices, what I could do at another point in time. You know what? I'm going to pull them up right now. And I'm going to tell you all the ones that I posted. That way, it's just like, hey, the information is out there. We can talk about it next time. We can talk about it whenever. But I got about 6 or 7 minutes before I get off here. And so why not just drop the gems while I'm right here, right? If you're just now joining, even though you may have joined a little late, my name is Kevin. I'm a nurse. Talking about NCLEX, which is the licensing exam for RNs and LPNs. Talking about study tips. If anybody needs help in regards to taking their NCLEX, thebootnurse.com. Make sure you guys check it out. You guys see my wonderful and glorious face over there. All right. So I'm going to check out my, because I know I posted it somewhere over here on my Instagram. It was a while ago, but I definitely said 3M was one of the websites. So a medical devices company. We talked about Stryker, and I talked about 3M, and I talked about Medline, right? So another one is Bard. Bard, B-A-R-D. Bard. They actually make like mesh. Like if you ever seen if you ever punched a hole in a wall and then you needed to go to get the mesh, like that's at Home Depot, like your own mesh kit to kind of like paint over the wall and then put the plaster over it, sand it down, and then repaint over it. So that mesh that's in there, that's essentially what Bard makes, among many, many other things. But I see them in the aspect of them making mesh for when we're repairing hernias in the operating room. You have another one called MyMedics. MyMedics, they make what they call, it's called allograft. It's like an allograft tissue that they use, and it helps with healing, right? So it's kind of like putting not a mesh, but it's kind of like putting. It's like it's a synthetic type of tissue that's being that was recreated to kind of mimic your skin, and it helps with the healing process. Just passed my RN NCLEX 2 weeks ago. It's been a journey. I want to continue for BSN. Any advice? Do it. Do it now. Here's the hardest part is that you already have your RN as an associate's degree nurse, right? You already have it. You don't have to ever take that NCLEX again, ever. So you can either give yourself a break, or you could just jump right into it and just start taking the BSN program as you see fit. I know that I have a buddy of mine who he's had his ADN for 10 years, but his job was just like, oh, you need to take it. Then COVID happened. They were just like, oh, well, I mean, if you don't take it, it's whatever, because everybody was losing nurses. And so he was taking 1 or 2 classes here and there, and he eventually got his bachelor's, I think last year or the year before, or something like that. So you can take your time doing it, or you can take a break. It's not, put it this way, no hospital is going to be like, you need to get your BSN or we're going to fire you. They were trying to do that to a lot of ADN nurses too at some point. I believe it was called, I think it was called Nurses 2020, Nurses 20 something, where essentially they wanted 80% of the nursing force to be BSN, and they weren't going to hire any ADNs. And then when COVID happened, they were just like, we need ADNs. And then they had gotten rid of all the LPNs and LVNs. And then poof, guess what happened? Now these hospitals turn around, we need LVNs. And I'm just like, oh, now y'all need them after y'all just tried to give them the boot. It was terrible. So I would say that if you're going to start, if you want to go. If you want to give yourself a break, you can do that. It just depends on you. But if you definitely want to ascend within the field, if you want to be a nurse practitioner, you got to keep going. Got to keep going in the realm of your education. Okay. So another good one, Boston Scientific. That's a good medical devices company, Boston Scientific. They make. I'm telling you, if you ever go to a hospital, just pick up something that looks like medical. Pick it up, look at it, look at the label, and watch. You will see who that company is. Boston Scientific is another one. Arthrex is another one. DePuy. I think it's DePuy Synthes. I want to say DePuy Synthes was bought by Johnson & Johnson. So there's that. Then you have MyMedics. I think I talked about that. Agility. Agility is spelled the same exact way, except at the end, it's spelled with an I instead of a Y. And I know that Agility, they work the lasers when we're doing like laser procedures with in urology cases. So they provide the machine, they provide the eye protection, but like I said, they make a ton of other things. And then another one is called Hologic. Hologic, they, right off the top of my head, they use what is called a MyoSure device. So essentially, it is a like a debriefing instrument that can go into the uterus and pretty much like debrief any like tissue that's in the endometrial lining. Okay. So that is the gist of how Hologics works in the operating room, and that's just one very small minute of a medical devices company that anybody can work for. But there are tons, and when I tell you there are tons, and they always have openings, and they love RNs, they love LPNs. Trust and believe me when I tell you that. The next time we'll talk about insurance companies, because there are insurance companies that love nurses, and those jobs are 100% remote. So if you want to work at home and not want to wear pants, you sure can. Wear pants. Sickos. Wear pants, okay? So yeah, there's that. Man, today was a really good night. I appreciate everybody showing up. I appreciate everybody listening to me. I appreciate everybody that asked all the questions. If you guys have any other further questions at any point in time, look at my videos here on TikTok, hit me up on Instagram, all that good jazz. If you need help coaching or you need help on NCLEX with coaching, what direction to go, nursing school, whatever, thebootnurse.com, that is where I reside. That website actually will be getting revised here over the next couple of weeks. So if you start jumping on there and it looks different one day, then you know that that's why it's happening, is because we making moves around here. So before I leave, be good, be great, be awesome, be positive, and keep studying and keep pushing. And I will more than likely see you guys on Friday, probably at 7 o'clock, same time. And we'll start chit-chatting more and more and more, okay? So I hope everybody has a wonderful night. I appreciate you guys as well, and I will see you guys later. Peace.